Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second session of our three-part series on digitizing India auto retail. I hope you guys had a good session last time. In our first session, we saw how the auto purchase journey has actually evolved for the customer and how the customers spend time before deciding on the vehicle. We've also covered tools, what tools, reports can help you evaluate the business efficiency across the various platforms. And we've also introduced you to the first step of winning your customers and how we can understand them better. Today, we plan to cover the fundamentals of hyperlocal marketing, highlighting the how part of what you can do to create digital storefronts and generate larger traffic to these. To ensure that we build a strong foundation, feel free to raise any questions that you may have in the chat box. We've allotted 10 to 15 minutes towards the end of the discussion to address your concerns and hear directly from the product experts at Google. Before we jump into the session, allow me to introduce the facilitators for today. We have Mr. Pulkit Sachdeva, Account Manager with Google India Auto Team, Ms. Anjuman Bhatt, Omnichannel Specialist with Google India, and Mr. Pratyush Sinha, who is a Mobile UI UX Specialist. With this, I would like to now hand over to Mr. Pulkit Sachdeva to start today's learning.
Thank you, Arindam. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Before we dive deeper into the what's and how's of hyperlocal marketing, let us recap our key learnings from webinar 1. Number 1, with an increased smartphone usage and reduced data prices, a large part of the user growth is coming from Tier 2 cities, Tier 3, and rural India. What this means is that they are likely to experience slower internet connectivity and be native language speakers. This insight is important to you to be translated in your digital properties to load faster and cater to the languages users are comfortable with. Number 2, consumer journey of a typical auto buyer consists of both offline and online properties. However, digital channels are pivotal in shaping a potential auto buyer's decision, with 20 out of 23 touchpoints being digital. And this is being witnessed and endorsed by market leaders in the automotive industry. Number 3, 60% of buyers start their journeys online, which truly makes digital mediums a sales consultant. For comparison, only 40% people started their journeys online 2 years ago. 9 out of 10 people rely on Google search and YouTube to research, and they typically follow it with actions like calling the dealership or submitting a lead online. Number 4, upon comparing print and digital marketing through a third-party study, we observed that online display drove the same level of incremental brand impact as printed, and that too at 1/3 of the cost. Marketers can drive a greater impact by using an optimal mix of print and online display strategies. And lastly, a 4-pronged strategy can help you reach out to an omni-channel buyer and drive profitability for you. You can understand your potential customers' online behavior by using solutions like Google Trends, GMB Insights, and Google Analytics. Now, moving on to the agenda for this webinar. Let's discuss what hyperlocal marketing is and why you should care. Well, simply put, hyperlocal marketing is a way to reach out to the most potential auto buyers in your vicinity by providing the most relevant, tailored, and up-to-date information. It makes it possible for you to target specific pin codes around your showrooms to ensure that every ad served is shown to a highly relevant audience. It lets you take your dealership to the customers, and instead of the spray and pray approach of traditional mediums, hyperlocal aims to deliver more leads while building brand visibility in your area. And with a 200% increase recorded in near me searches on Google over the last year, it is now more crucial than ever before. Now, we know that some of you are already actively doing digital marketing, and you might be thinking, how can Google supplement my efforts? Or why should I just not continue with the status quo? Well, we recommend you collaborate with the OEMs for a seamless customer experience. Furthermore, it helps you maximize your brand's presence on Google search, resulting in more direct leads than sourced from third party platforms. It also opens a channel for your campaigns to learn from the OEM and adopt best in class practices. With centralized agency and priority Google support, a coordinated strategy drives better transparency and profitability for the dealership. And we've already seen this work efficiently across the globe, with major OEMs like Hyundai and Kia partnering with their dealers to drive some fantastic results. India isn't lagging behind too. We are already seeing success with some of the leading OEMs like Maruti Suzuki fully leveraging digital platforms, where digital inquiries now contribute to 33% of the total sales. Additionally, Ford's hyperlocal strategy resulted in 1.8 times more leads at 40% cost savings. In webinar 1, we introduced you to our 4-pronged strategy and learned some ways to understand your online consumer. Today, we take a step further to understand the storefronts you should create as you embark on this journey online. These storefronts are the face of your business for your consumers. Building a Google My Business profile, along with a localized website, lay the right foundations to help your hyperlocal strategy up for success. Before we move further, to understand these two in detail, let's take a fun quiz. This will help us understand your priorities better. Please log into Slido and enter the event code on your screen to get started.
We're just going to wait for 1 minute so that more of us can join the link. Please visit www.sli.do and enter the event code on your screen, which is N250. The event code will be N250. Okay, I see the numbers are increasing now. We'll wait for a few more seconds so that a few more people can join in. Okay, let's start. This is a multiple choice question, so please choose all applicable options out of the 3. What we want to know from you is, which of these channels do you currently use as your primary digital storefront? Is it Google My Business? Is it your website? Or is it Facebook store? Okay, we see Google My Business listing is currently topping the charts. A few more responses, and then we can move on. Okay, it's a close call between GMB and websites. Let's just hit 110 and then we close the poll. Okay, great. This is super interesting. So clearly, Google My Business is the preferred choice for most of you. It is good to see so many of us being comfortable with GMB. And we believe today's session would only supplement how you currently leverage your GMB listings. I'd now like to hand over to Anjuman, who will help you understand what Google My Business is and how you can engage with customers in the moments that matter the most. In the meantime, please feel free to ask your questions in the chat box. Thank you.
Thanks, Pulkit. Hi, everyone. My name is Anjuman Bhatt, and I am the Omnichannel Specialist at Google. In this section, I will talk about how you can manage the presence of your dealerships online with Google My Business. So let's dive right in. Google My Business is the platform that powers your dealerships to appear on Google Search and Google Maps. Take a look at the animation on the left, showing an example of what happens if somebody looks for a car dealership. Once you type dealership near me on Google Search or Maps, you will see a list of results. Then you click on one of the dealership results to see more information about the dealership. A customer might look for the service you're offering or your business name directly on Maps or on Search, and eventually they will reach your business profile. And you, as an owner of this business, can control the information that the user sees on the listing. Today, I will tell you why is it important for you to manage the business profile, how you can gain access to that profile if you haven't already, and what kind of information you can publish on your business profiles. What does a typical business profile look like? Let's take a look at what it looks like on mobile. It's where most of your customers browse. I recommend you take a look at your business profile on your mobile now. On top of the screen, you have dealership pictures. They can be added by you or by the users. Below that, you will see different tabs like Overview, Reviews, and Photos. You have quick links below that to facilitate the interaction with your business. And below the quick links, you will see basic information of the dealership like address. If you scroll down further, you will see additional details like question and answers, additional photos of this dealership, and also the review of the dealership. GMB helps you to stand out on Google and be in control of how customers see your business, engage with potential customers by allowing them to reach you via reviews and messaging, and also find new customers by sharing your latest offers, events, and photos. GMB is the foundational piece and is important because most of Google's omnichannel solutions won't work without a Google My Business. The completeness of your GMB account will impact all other strategies you can use to drive customers into your dealership, be it organic or paid. Hence, it is important to frequently update your business profiles. Now let's see how to get you onboarded to GMB in case you don't have a business profile yet. So if you already have a GMB listing for your dealership, your OEM will simply request access and get your dealership verified. If you don't have a GMB listing, then your OEM will reach out to you for store info and get the store verified. If the OEM has already onboarded you, then you can manage the profile by keeping it regularly updated. Now let's look at various GMB features using which you can optimize your business listings to drive more traffic to your dealerships. As I said previously, your GMB profile is your digital storefront. It allows you to showcase all the information people need in order to make the decision to come to your dealerships. Making sure your dealership information is updated in GMB will also make it easy for customers to find you when they are looking for you. You can modify the information you see on the profile like category of your dealership, address, phone number, website, etc. You can use Google My Business interface or app to do this. Regularly review if the dealership's operating hours are up to date. It's especially critical as 96% of people are more likely to visit a place displaying hours of operation. Make sure you also update the opening hours for national or religious holidays using special hours. Add photos, logo, and cover photo to get higher conversions from your store pages. You also can add photos of the dealership, products, and services to provide more information about your business. It's also a good idea to add an exterior photo so people can recognize your business when they visit. Additionally, You can also upload a 360-degree photo of the dealership interior to make your listing look more appealing. You can select various attributes to let customers know details about your business. For example, you can share form of payment accepted, whether appointment is required, if car services like car wash, oil change are offered at your dealership. Attributes appear on your business profile on Google Search and Google Maps. If you add a certain attribute to your profile, your business might show up in search results when people search for places with those attributes on Google Search and Google Maps. Today, it's common for customers to research about the dealership before making a decision to make a purchase. They read reviews from other customers to make an informed decision of whether they should engage with the business or not. A large part of this research is generally done through Google reviews. Reviews provide valuable information about your business to both you and your customers, and they appear next to your listing in Maps and Search and can help your business stand out on Google. You can view and reply to reviews for your store listings from the GMB web as well as the app front end. Replying to reviews also helps build your customers' trust and improve brand loyalty, and ultimately direct more walk-ins to the dealerships. You can get a short link from GMB frontend, which allows a customer to directly leave a review for your business. You can use it with a QR code in the thank you email, suggesting your customers to leave a review. You can use posts to share announcements, offers, news, product launches, or event details directly with your customers. Posts allow you to directly communicate with your local customers. It helps you improve your customer experience with timely information, and lastly, it also helps you to promote the latest store updates through rich videos and photos. You can easily create and update posts for your dealerships from the GMB frontend. There are various use cases for which you can make posts. For example, what is new that is coming up at your dealership? What are the various new models that are getting launched? If there is any particular offer that you've launched at your dealership, or if there are any upcoming events happening at your dealership or the nearby areas which the dealership is conducting. For this variety of use cases, you can make use of GMB posts. You can get in touch with your customers in real time from GMB listings using messaging, which is basically a 1:1 chat between the customer and your dealership. With messaging, you can answer their questions, take bookings and appointments, tell more about your products and offerings, so on and so forth. Messaging helps you to engage with your customers and ultimately attract them to your dealerships. You can enable messaging for your dealerships via the GMB Connect app. You can use the product catalog feature in GMB to showcase your car products on search and maps. This feature allows your customers to see the cars you're selling at your dealerships along with rich information on the product, pricing, and offers. Insights give you an inside look at how people are finding your business listing on the web. How do searchers find you? What were the top queries? Many customers find businesses on Google Search and Google Maps. Insights also helps you understand where do the users come from. In addition to these insights, also provides you different ways to understand how customers interact with your listing. Example, do they call, they request for directions, or visit your website? What days have the most activity, and so on and so forth. You can get insights for individual listings or for all your dealerships from your GMB frontend. You may find that your business doesn't show up for relevant searches in your area. To maximize how often users find your business in local search results, ensure that your business information in GMB is accurate, complete, and engaging. You can do this by completing business information, updating opening hours, responding to reviews daily, and updating photos regularly on your GMB. All right, that was a lot of information. Time for a Slido break. All right, it's time for a Slido break. Please log into slido.com and enter the code mentioned on your screen. Your code for this Slido is H179. Let's start the quiz. We discussed many Google My Business features today. Which of these are you most excited to activate? Posts, messaging, service attributes, or product catalog? Please select multiple options based on what you are most interested in. All right, I can see that post is gaining a lot of interest, and then we have product catalog. Okay, product catalog now. So it looks like between product catalog and posts, it's coming up to be most popular one. Let's wait for a few more seconds to get more responses. Yeah, I think now we have sufficient responses that have come up. So posts and then product catalog comes out to be the two most popular features that you would like to activate, and not very far behind were messaging and service attributes also, which also got a lot of votes. Um, Moving on, I hope you found the GMB features discussed today interesting and hope you will be making use of them for your GMB listings. Summarizing the most important key takeaways and your weekly to-do list. Keep the business information up to date. Ensure that the phone number and operating hours are correct. Respond to reviews within 48 hours after receiving them. You can also use GMB app to manage reviews faster as you receive notifications on mobile. Add a post, an offer, or an event to give life to your business profile. Post up-to-date pictures using the Google My Business app. You can also add 360-degree view of your dealership's interior to make your business profile look more appealing. Review user suggestion on your business profile. Additionally, we also have a lot of help available on GMB. You can review detailed GMB guides in our help center. We have a very active GMB community, and it can be a great place to get information and stay updated on best practices. And lastly, you can get in touch with our support team for any support required on GMB, be it onboarding, verification, or even updation of information. That was all from my side. Hope it was informative. Now I will pass on to Pratyush to take you through creating dealer websites.
Thank you, Anjuman. Anjuman talked about building your digital storefront through Google My Business. I will talk about building the storefront using your own dealer site. So what makes a good dealer website? A good dealer website has three attributes. It is mobile friendly and goal oriented. It is fast and it's also search friendly. Let's dive into each of these attributes. So let's start with the first attribute, making site mobile friendly and goal oriented. First thing you should do is to check how does your dealer website open on your mobile. Most likely 90% of your visitors are going to be on mobile. Make sure that your website opens well on mobile. Fonts are legible and readable. Does your site load quickly? Is it easy to navigate? Is it easy to take actions? These are some important things to consider. The another thing I wanted to talk about is the anatomy and ergonomics of a page. This is how people hold their phone, right? So you can see the orange area and the red area, which is actually away from thumb. Those areas are suitable for reading. So you should have your best content over there. And the green area is something which is accessible for taking action. So all the main call to action buttons and CTA should be in this area. Now, another aspect of a good design is that you should have 6 areas of interest. You should have a brand logo, you should have main content, you should have a menu or a search box, or if call is important, you should have a call button, you should have a main image, and you should have a button. So these 6 areas make a site look very balanced and give it a very first good impression. So you should make sure that when you build your digital website, you have all these content visible to the user. Now, how does an auto website should look like? You should have a landing page. You should have navigation, like the menus and the filters where you can show multiple options to the user. And then there is a conversion funnel, which is where you would want user to give their name, phone number, and all these details, right? So these are the 3 broad sections you should have on the website. And we'll talk about some of the best experiences for each of these sections. So let's talk about the landing page experience. So one of the design principles that you should take care of, which is ensuring that the key calls appear above the fold. So here you can see an example from a website of Tesla and Toyota, and you can see that the key call to action, in case of Tesla, it is order now, and in case of Toyota, it is build your car version. All of those key call to actions are appearing above the fold, meaning that if you go to the website, in most of the phones, these buttons will show up above the fold. So that's a good design practice. Second example of a good design is to highlight value proposition and drive to relevant page. Again, using the example of Tesla, they highlight what are the good attributes of Model S, and similarly on the Volkswagen website, they highlight the value proposition associated with this car. So these things are again a good practices, because once the user come to your site, they want to get inspired, they want to understand what the page is about, so that they can immediately take an action. Third good attribute of a website is that you should have a descriptive CTAs. So for example, whenever you are giving a button, you should not have a button named as continue, next, or submit. I audited a couple of websites and I saw a lot of websites are using buttons like, but the CTAs are labeled as submit. Here you can take example again from Tesla. They talk about order now, or in the case of Volkswagen, they talk about building this car model. So this is again a good practice, not having a very short description, but having a descriptive CTAs, which most of the time you can use a verb, so to make it much more meaningful, and which encourages user to take action. Then the next thing that you should think about is the problem that users have, right? One of the most hated things that user have to do on mobile is to complete a form. And that is because, typing on mobile is really, really hard. So how can you make that experience much better? So there are a couple of things that you can do. One is that, first of all, you should have limited field. The fields that are really, really important is what you should have on the form. Second, you should have inline validation. If the user makes a mistake, or at that particular time itself, the mistake should be highlighted. You can see some examples here. The moment user did not enter of his first name and moved to the second field, the form was highlighted. The error was highlighted, because once the user submits the form, the user should be able to see the error. So this is something that you should think about. So the next thing that you should think about is the problem that users have, right? One of the most hated things that the user have to do on mobile is to complete a form. And that is because, and then you are highlighting issues, that's again a bad practice because user will be clueless as to where the error really happened. So best is to just do inline validation, show the error right then and there. The second good practice is autofill. So there is a Google API using which you can, even on the browser, you can access user's first name, last name, and the addresses. Some of these fields are available to you so that user don't have to type in. So here in this example of autofill, you can see the moment user goes to type in his first name, last name, address, all the data sort of pops up, and user just needs to press a button or click this option, and all the form field will get filled out. So that again is a good practice to do. The next one is that you should use correct keypads. So if you're asking user for zip code, you're asking user for phone, or you're asking user for credit card, where only numerals are involved, you should avoid a keypad which has got all text here. Rather, you should leverage the numeric only keypad. This again delights users and helps improve the user experience. Then one another thing which you should do is that make phone numbers tappable. I again audited a couple of sites and I saw that the phone numbers are displayed prominently, but user have to go and copy that phone number and then copy it back in their device. A good idea would be to have these phone numbers tappable, which you can see in this example. You can further enhance this UI with a call button icon to let user know that if they click on it, the phone pad will open directly and they can make their call from there, and they don't have to go through the hassle of copying phone number. So let's move to now the second attribute, which is a great website is fast. And why is that important? So there is a study that Google did with Deloitte Digital and found that an improvement of even 0.1 second, not even a second, 0.1 second, that's 100 millisecond, can really help improve user conversion rate and average order value. So speed is that critical, and that is why you should make sure that you pay equal attention to to not only the UX part of it, but also how fast is the page being rendered. Also, you should avoid some of these bad practices on the website. So first one, slow loading website. That's not ideal, right? Then the second one is unresponsive pages. So user is trying to scroll up and down, but the page is not responsive. That again is very irritating and bad user experience. And then you load the page and suddenly some banner comes or some other pop-up comes which shift the content. That again is bad user experiences. So please make sure that when you design your dealer website, you don't have these experiences. You have a fast and a responsive experience on your website. Now, to measure speed objectively, there is a tool that Google has, which is called Test My Site. You can go to this site, enter your domain URL, and run the report, and you will get a lot of insight about how the page speed of the site is. You will get to see all the speed metrics. You will also see customized tips on how to make the site experience fast, seamless, and personal. Third, you have the options to download a customizable report with insights, case studies, and a new developer section as well. So please use Test My Site to see how good is your site speed, and then what are the things that you can do to improve your speed experience. Now here is a case study that we have from BMW. So when BMW optimized their website, they made it 3x faster, and it resulted in not only conversion uplifts, but also resulted in the SEO benefits to them. So this is just to reinforce that speed is really critical, and if you optimize your site, you make it 2x, 3x faster, you would see better conversion and better traffic from Google. Now, moving on to the last attribute, which is a good dealer website, it's search friendly. So this is how search looks like. At the top you have search query, then you have the GMB on the right, and then on the left you have text ads and the organic results. So what exactly is SEO? So SEO refers to the techniques that improve your website rank in Google search results and attract higher quantity and quality website visits to grow your online presence. So SEO will help make your site visible. It will also help you connect with more consumers, and it will increase the number of potential customers who see your website on the search result. So how can you achieve search engine optimization? So there are broadly 6 things that you should do. First, as we talked about, load time is important, not only for conversion, but also for search ranking. Second, you should think about putting useful content on your website. Third, you should interlink your website. So you should not have these pages in isolation, but you should be interlinking your site into a meaningful architecture. Then the fourth point is you should have page titles and descriptions. So it is just not important to make the page friendly for the user, but you should also make sure that search engines can understand and interpret the pages. So it is important that you provide a page title and meta descriptions for the page. Then the fifth one is have an information architecture about the page. Think about the page holistically, like the site should be organized. There has to be a home page, and there has to be like all these subsequent sections, and think about how do you want to organize all that information. And the last one, which is again equally very useful, is to make sure that your browser that your site opens well on all browser and devices. And there are some tools to help you achieve better search engine optimization. There is Google Analytics, which can help you what are the terms which are letting user come to your website, and then also understand what kind of content users are interested in, what are the pages they are visiting the most. So that should give you a sense of what pages are working, which one you need to work on to improve the search ranking. And the other tool is Google Search Console. Now, Google Search Console allows you to monitor whether Google is able to crawl your website well. You can even sign up for email alerts, and Google will let you know if they're not able to crawl a particular page. So in summary, we talked about good attributes of a site. We talked about how it is important to make the site fast and search friendly. We also talked about how you can take some UX interventions and make it look like seamless and also make it goal oriented. And I have also got some resources for you to go through if you're interested to learn more. There is a tool on small businesses which you can explore. And also, if you're interested to learn more about UX, you should sign up for this Grow course on Google. With that, let's open up the floor for Q&A.
All right, now let's take some live questions. There's a question from Sakti where she's asking that in case of negative reviews, is there a provision to get the customer contacted over phone through masking numbers? It would be easy to understand the customer's real concern. So as a policy, Google will never share the customer's phone number with you, but you definitely have an option of with every negative or positive review, get back to the customer on, through your replies on the review by telling them your email ID if they want to connect with you. And over emails, then you can connect with the customer and, connect with them directly, or over phone or on emails. That's the way to go on, management of negative or the positive reviews on your GMB profiles. There was another question from Ajay where he has asked that will product catalog be a shared feature? I don't fully understand the question when you say shared feature, but let me give a little more detail on product catalog. On your GMB listings, it's an open feature for anybody to use under the auto vertical. So you can upload your product images, their pricing info, etc., via a normal or regular Excel feed also to showcase these products on your business profiles. There was a question from Anshul where he says that can a similar post with same content and image be used for multiple showrooms of same dealerships? If not, what should be done? Yes, the same content and the same image can be used, but currently from your GMB front end, you don't have an option to upload the same post with the same image and content in bulk. If you have, for example, say 3 showrooms under one dealership, there's no option to do that from your front end. But we do have an GMB API feature that allows you to make bulk posts. So if you have an API access or if the OEM has an API access, they should be able to make bulk post with the same content and image for multiple showrooms. Sakti asked a question that GMB listings are getting changed automatically without the consent based on customer suggestions. Sometimes it is updated, wrong information is also displayed. Some kind of consent from the owner before changes can be, brought live. Can that be done? So yes, GMB is an open platform, and any user is, free to update or suggest any changes on a GMB listing. However, if the listings are verified, those changes don't go live on the day when user suggests the changes. It goes as Google updates to your GMB listings. So if you open your GMB account, you will be able to see that for how many of your listings users have asked for updation. It can be, a photo change, it can be a phone number change or an address change or anything, and it is up to you to accept the change or reject the change. But if you do not either accept or reject the change for a particular period of time, say 7 or 14 days, then that goes live because Google deems that the owner is not managing the profile, and then there are users who want the correct information to be displayed. So very, very important to keep checking your GMB account and look for Google updates there. A similar question was asked by Venkat, where he's asking that pictures from customer automatically get added in the GMB with or without consent of the owner. So on pictures, yes, customers can come to your dealership, click pictures and make uploads there, and you don't even have an option of removing them, but you have an option of marking the images or photos as inappropriate. And when a GMB listings owner marks the image as inappropriate, Google gives a high priority to remove that particular image. So if it reaches a particular threshold of number of people who have marked it as inappropriate, it gets removed. Apart from that, the GMB listing always gives a priority to owner uploaded images. So it's very, very important for you as an owner of the GMB listing to keep updating more and more images, because more the images that you have uploaded, the chances of customer uploaded images to be seen on the GMB profile when anybody opens the profile goes lesser and lesser. So please update as many pictures as you can of your dealership. Vikrant has asked, and there were other people also who had asked the same question, which says that how can we mention sales and service contact numbers separately so that customers can view them both? So the guideline over here and the recommendation from our side is that because sales and service are two different entities, and the type of service also that you provide in these two outlets, even if they are a part of the same building or in the vicinity, the services are different. So you should have two separate GMB listings for your sales outlet and the service outlet. And when you have two separate GMB listings, you can also have two different contact numbers. On the contact number, there was also a question that how many phone numbers can you display? So you can display up to 3 phone numbers, 1 primary and 2 secondary phone numbers for every GMB listing that you have. Okay, now I'll pass on to Pratyush to take some website related questions if there are any, and then I'll come back again and take more GMB questions if there are.
Yeah, I think I saw one question which was around which tool to use the speed. So I think if you want to just get an assessment at the domain level, you can use Test My Site as we talked about. But if you want a specific URL level detail, you can use something like Page Speed Insights. Just Google Page Speed Insights, and you will get a URL where you can enter the URL and you can get this speed score for mobile. So that's also very handy to look at. I think Anjuman, there is one more question on GMB. Do you want to take that?
On API for GMB, where can they access? Yes, so for GMB API, you need to meet a certain prerequisites. So if you just Google, and we'll share it along with the deck also, you can basically go to Google My Business Developer Portal. That is where you can see all the details about the API. But you will have to meet a certain prerequisites and get yourself whitelisted for you to build any solution on top of that API. Let me go to the live stream. If there are any more questions, please feel free to put more questions if there are any. There is a question on which tool can you use to track and respond to the GMB queries and improve rating. So if you mean by saying that GMB queries, I think you mean reviews or question and answers. So you can do it via the GMB Connect app. It's a very, very handy tool. You can install it from your Play Store. It's called the GMB Connect app. And you can log into that with the same GMB account ID that you have to manage your website portal. And you can manage your reviews, question and answers all from there. The very good thing about GMB Connect app is also that whenever there is a review that customer post, or there's a question that a customer is posting, you also get a notification. So on the go, you always know, and the turnaround time to get back to the customer also reduces with the help of the GMB Connect app. Okay, so there are questions around duplicate page issues. From you, you can independently not resolve a duplicate listing. So if there is any issue, like you are getting, when you're updating a profile, you're getting a duplicate listing, or there are two duplicate listings and you need to merge them, you will have to get in touch with the Google support team for that. A very interesting question on Google reviews. How can we take more Google reviews from a customer, which is the most easy way for a customer to give rating? So whenever a customer gets a very, very positive experience at your store, always urge the customer to give a positive review for your dealership. There are various ways you can do it. Either you can have a QR code, which directly, when the customer scans it, they directly land onto your GMB listing. You can create short links from your GMB profile, and you can embed that short link on your SMSs, on your email IDs, and share it with your customers, whoever had if they had a very good positive experience or they made a purchase from your store, and urge them to leave positive reviews on your dealerships. Which one is a good way to increase the visibility? Is it the post, or is it the photo updation? Sakti has asked this question. So there is no right or wrong, or will photo help you or post will help you more. The purpose of photos and post is different, right? So photos will help you give that first impression to the customer. When anybody is landing onto the page, they will know, okay, this is how the dealership looks. It's the area is big, there is a staff, there are people to help me out, etc., etc. So that gives the first impression of your store. That is what the purpose of photos is. Post is more about building the excitement and engagement about the dealership. How is your dealership different from other dealership? Is there a particular offer that is running? Is there an event that you're conducting, etc., etc.? So that is what your making more regular posts will help you do, to drive more engagement on your listings. How do you generate report for GMB Insights? So GMB Insights is available in all the GMB accounts. You can go there, click on the listings for which you need the insights. There are two type of insights. One at a dealership level, which is more visualized charts to see that how people are searching for you, what are the, how are people viewing your photos or conducting actions on your profile. But if you have multiple outlets under one dealership, say 13 outlets under one dealership or multiple stores, and you want to look at the insights at a bulk level, you can also click on actions and select all the stores that you have and download bulk insights for a custom time frame. So, for example, if you want to do a Jan to Feb comparison, you should be able to do that. You can't create a QR code from GMB account, but you can create a short link, Gulshan, to your question. And then with any QR code facility that is available, online, you can just link the QR code with the short link and send it to the customers. Abhinav, currently multilingual posting creation on GMB is not possible. Pratyush, there is a question on how to get report on number of hits on the website. Do you want to take that?
Yeah, so you want to see the visits to your site. So yeah, if you have enable like Google Analytics, you can of course track the number of visits. I think if that was the question. Yeah, I think Anjuman, there may be a few more questions on GMB.
Yeah, I am searching for them. Can I create a new GMB page, Alina, to your question, as I'm not able to get access to my old GMB account? Will it affect your SEO? Yes, it would, because when you create a new GMB listing, the authority that your old GMB listing would have created with the amount of reviews, with the amount of content that would have been there, will not get passed to your new GMB account. So it's if what you can also do is if you've lost your account access, there is always a way to retrieve your old account based on some security questions or an alternate email ID that you would have given. You can reach out to the Google support team and they should be able to help you get access to your old GMB account. The merging, so there is a process to that, Vikrant, to your question. If there are two sort of listings in one single place, the listing that there is one listing that is live, there is another listing that is duplicate. You can't merge the two listings to combine the reviews, to combine the content of the two listings, but there is a process to bring one listing down and one listing live. There is a process for that, and for that you'll have to either get in touch with your OEM or with the Google support team, and they should be able to help you with that. How do we give automated response to a review, Achinto? There is no way to give an automated reply back to a review, but as I said, GMB Connect app, that helps you to basically be on the top of your reviews. You get your notification for every review and question answer that comes, so that you can get back to the customer with the least time that is possible. How do you change the owner email address to another email ID with the organization? You will have to basically, Shreyansh, you will have to basically request for changing the primary owner of the GMB listing to the new owner for that. Any other manager, etc., or sub owners can be changed via the primary owner. But if you want to change the primary owner email ID, for that you'll have to request the GMB support team to do that. Shreyansh, I think I've already answered your question on that. I'd like to know the Naveen Kumar, is it possible to create two listings for one address, sales and service? Yes, it is possible. And that's a very common question that we get because a lot of sales and service outlets are in one particular location. But because the type of service that both these outlets deliver are different, you can, for the same address, create two independent GMB listings. So, Shyam, to your question on messaging, so there are two ways to enable messaging. So there is a basic messaging service, which at a particular dealer level you will have to, sort of plug it on from your GMB Connect app, and I think that is what you're referring to. It is currently for basic GMA messaging, which you enable via your GMB Connect app. There are no insights available. So our general guidance around that is that you should respond back to the customer questions on messaging in 24 hours. If you do not do that regularly, Google will sort of disable your messaging from that particular dealership, which is not getting back to the customers in 24 hours. So to avoid these scenarios, you can yourself, for example, on weekends, if an agent is not available to answer the customer queries, you can disable messaging from your GMP Connect app. There is another feature on messaging which is for a more bulk way of managing messaging to get insights, have agent queue management, etc. More advanced features. For that, I would request you to get in touch with your OEM to enable it via business messaging, for which we have certain partners who provide these services.
So thank you, Anshuman, for answering all these questions. It's a very engaging session indeed. So I'll now pass on to Arindam for his closing remarks.
Thank you, Google team, for helping us understand the must-haves and the good-to-have things for our digital storefront and answering all our queries. Google My Business listings and dealer websites undoubtedly play the biggest role in hyperlocal marketing and ends up driving greater than 70% say of our sales. So today's session has effectively armed us with the fundamentals which help in building these storefronts, the organic traffic, and I'm sure all of us here will start utilizing these tips for building the online presence and gathering more eyeballs through promotions and engagement tools. Now, before we close today's session, I want to also give you a brief snapshot of what's next. Let me take a minute to walk you through the four main business objectives for which we will be building a strategy in the next session. We will start with how to build your brand by gathering eyeballs and communicating your USP effectively. We'll also showcase how other dealers are driving this across the world. We will also look at how to drive engagement with your customers through interactive solutions. Third, we would look at how you can effectively communicate all your offers and complement your traditional channels of print and BTL activities. And finally, how can you generate leads at an efficient cost, hence improving your profitability. Additionally, the team will also discuss how one objective can be an input to another. So look forward to seeing you all on December the 23rd, Wednesday next week. Wish you all a great time till then. Thank you.